Yeah, I'm not going to hide it. I think this game is much better than Cyberpunk Red. Write your angry comments now, Choom. Welcome to the Dead Unicorn, the tabletop role-playing game club. My name is Corey, and Cyberpunk 2077 just came out on Mac, so now I can play it on the same machine I edit these videos on. And it's amazing. I really love the game, and I love watching Edge Runners on Netflix. And they announced the second season. I am so happy about that. Oh my goodness. It's like it's raining great Cyberpunk content. But also, they have a Cyberpunk tabletop role-playing game. I could be wrong, but I think it came out first. And that's where my happiness starts to fade. Look, I love the world of Cyberpunk Red. And I think the game is okay. It's playable, but it's got a lot of jank. It's full of skills that do mostly nothing, an XP system that is very confusing, class powers that are lopsided in power, some of them are kind of boring, and target numbers. Well, here, those seem to be consistent, except when they're suddenly not consistent, and a TN can just get really impossible to reach because the Game Master forgot that this is one of those special situations where the TNs are different. It's a system that's also held back by its long history and inability to radically change to bring it in line with newer ideas. Mostly this is brought on by a sense of nostalgia and an older fan base unwilling to let go of those things. All this means is that if you know the rules and make a good character, you'll have a great time. But if you build one suboptimally because you don't know which skills are the most useful and which ones are basically useless, you'll be rolling up a new one in no time. If you think I hurt the feelings of a system you love, you're free to defend it. That's what the comments section is for. Tell me how I don't understand a game I played multiple editions from 2020 to Cyber Generation to Red itself. Or better yet, go check out this video where I really pull apart Cyberpunk Red with a few friends, showing you the good, the bad, and the ugly of the game. But there's one thing that Cyberpunk does amazingly well. It's the best part of the game and the thing that makes me want to play even if the rule system isn't my favorite. The world of Cyberpunk. Night City and Arasaka and all the cool toys from motorcycles to cyber arms. It's funky, fun, has an anti-capitalist message, an anti-fascist message, and I can get behind that. So if you like the world, but would rather have different rules, you could either homebrew up something, or you could find another system, like this one. Wait a minute. Not you, GURPS. You know, I really need to tackle you sometime, but today is not that day. This is the game in question, Neon Rain. It is part of the Cypher System, which is a universal system, but this book here will help you create your own cyberpunk world, but it also has its own world in it that is similar but distinct to all other cyberpunk worlds. This is a weird thing, because cyberpunk is both a genre and the title of a game. In my script, there are capital C's and lowercase c's for cyberpunk and cyberpunk. But you can't hear a capital letter when I talk, can you? Okay, from now on, when I say cyberpunk by itself, I mean the genre. And when I say the title of a game world, I'll use subtitles like Cyberpunk Red or 2077. Got it? Alright, let's move on. Neon Rain is published by Monty Cook Games, designed by Sean K. Reynolds, Dominique Dickey, and Bruce R. Cordell. It is part of the White Book Collection, which is a series of genre-specific books that all work in conjunction with the Cypher System rulebook. Full review right here. But I also have some summaries for you, so let's get to it. Cypher is an endurance-based system where you can spend energy from 3 pools, might, speed, and intellect, to power special abilities, make rolls easier, and take damage. A player needs to spend their points wisely over the course of the game to come out on top. All rolls are done against levels. This includes static challenges called tasks, like climbing a rock wall is a level 3 task. But this also includes NPCs. For example, the ogre is level 4. So tricking him is a level 4 intellect task, while hitting him with your sword is a level 4 might task. These rules are consistent, making it easy to understand every role in the game. Characters are made up of 3 parts: a type, which is a broad class, a focus, which is a specialization, and a descriptor, which is the dominant trait of a character. For example, Johnny is a smart warrior who wields 2 weapons. Smart is the descriptor, warrior is the type, and wields 2 weapons is the focus. Ciphers themselves are one-time use objects with amazing powers that can bring an element of surprise to every encounter. We should all be good and up to speed now. While I love most of these mechanics in Cypher, there are a few I think could be improved, like how damage works. You can check out my full Cypher review for all of those thoughts, but we need to jump right into the deep end on Neon Rain. The first chapter of this book is a oh, god damn. The first chapter of this book is a full-throated player's guide, which is amazing and surprising. If you've seen my other white book reviews, you'll know that, for the most part, they are Game Master books. Books that are formatted for the narrator in mind first and player second. This is so a narrator can build their own worlds with bespoke character types for the kind of game they want. Neon Rain does things a bit different, and this is for the better. It has pre-made character types like Solo, Hotshot, Tech. It has descriptors ready to go like Corpo or Engram, which is a type of android, kind of like you see in Blade Runner. It has focuses for cyberpunk settings like explores cyberspace or has a custom drone. It has all of those things plus tools for the narrators to make their own if they need to. But I think Neon Rain covers most of the things you'll see in a cyberpunk setting, from Blade Runner to Edge Runner. The best thing overall is that this format makes it easier for everyone to jump in and start playing right away. Interestingly, they have a chapter with a bunch of player intrusions, which isn't something you see in other white books. I don't know if Cypher System is going to go hard on players using intrusions in future games, but I'm glad they're here. For those that don't know, an intrusion is something that happens in the game that wasn't planned for. An interesting twist. The Game Master can add one by giving XP to players. If a barrel gets knocked over mid-combat, covering the ground in an oil slick, well, that would be a GM intrusion. Player intrusions give twists in the player's favor. For example, a character can use one to say that they have a critical but mundane piece of equipment, like having a light on them for a dark room. One downside of player intrusions is that they take XP to use. XP, experience points. This is a huge cost that many players would rather spend on character advancement. But Neon Rain has a solution to that too, but more on that later. Equipment, including cyberware, in Neon Rain, it's the most extensive I've ever seen in any Cypher book. They went all out with equipment. And they also have those goofy branding that is synonymous with all the cyberpunk settings. You'll notice that there's no rating on Cyberware for humanity or essence or anything like that. Instead, it uses a rule called shits, which, while funny, is just a terrible name for what is essentially cyberpsychosis. How it works is when the GM thinks you're under undue stress, that can be the target of a shits intrusion. Shits! Okay, oh my god. So, YouTube is gonna want to demonetize this video for all the time I'm saying shits. Shits! It's like Monty Cook doesn't want me to do a review of this book. Come on, guys. Name your stuff something better. So, please, just join my Patreon. It will help me out. I love you. Patreon.com/deadunicorn. It'll turn you into a sex god. Shits works in one of 2 ways. First, it's a GM intrusion, and the target has to make a level 5 intellect roll, or higher if they have an excessive amount of cyberware. If they lose this roll, they must act in an erratic manner. They may be hallucinating, or they may babble. They may even lose control of their character for a short period of time. The second way is called incremental shits. Incremental shits! Which I like better. Don't take that out of context. Okay, when something triggers a character's shits, they will take intellect damage. If a character's intellect pool is reduced to 0, they lose 1 permanent point of intellect, and they gain a few intellect pool points back. If their max intellect ever reaches 0, they gain the mad descriptor and gain a few max intellect points back. If that goes to 0 one last time, they lose their character as it becomes an NPC totally taken over by the Cyberware. This book is filled with really amazing optional rules that are not optional in my opinion. They are a very much welcome addition to my Cypher game, like drug use rules that are very in-depth and easy to use. The rules, not the drugs. Ultimate damage is another great rule that allows characters to exceed their normal effort limit, but only on damage, so a character can use up all of their energy for an incredible damaging attack. This can make combat so much more deadly. I think ultimate damage is a great rule for superhero games too, or maybe like an anime style game where you charge up an attack before unleashing it. And my favorite new rule is splitting XP. This is a rule that I think every single Cypher game could benefit from, not just Neon Rain. Remember how I said it costs an XP to use a player intrusion? Well, now XP is split between the stuff you use for character advancement and what you use for player intrusions and dice rerolls. You can call them intrusion points, character points, drama points. They don't actually give them a name, which they should. I vote for Hero Point. An optional rule that misses the mark is Wildfire. Basically, it allows a character to fire multiple rounds, but it's harder to hit and does less damage, not more. So why do more bullets do less damage to a target? Maybe it's targeting an area of effect? No, doesn't say that. Maybe it's implied that every bullet expended does damage and each one does one less, but it doesn't actually say that either. Just that you do one less damage and it's harder to hit. So either this rule is very poorly written or it only gives penalties without a benefit. It's a rare miss in my book. Hacking and doing things in cyberspace is simple and easy to get a character's head around. The sample in the included adventure 17th Floor is a great example of how it's done. I might say it could be a little too simple and could use a bit more complexity, so it feels like things are a bit more dynamic. But I'm impressed with what we got. Remember, unlike other systems, Cypher encourages tinkering and creating new rules. While you can do this with any RPG, it just feels right when a game gives you the tools and permission to do just that. There are also new types of ciphers that are apps or programs that you can download into yourself to give a one-time use power. What a great and natural fit for this genre. But there's an added twist. Because if you use a piece of software, it might be infected with malware or viruses that sell your information or mine bitcoins off your own hardware or other things. It's really fun stuff. And speaking of creating your own fun stuff, yes, there is a full chapter on making bespoke cyberpunk worlds tailored to your own tastes. You can pull influences from your favorite books and movies to recreate them or mash them together to make something new. My favorite is the suggestion to add kaiju to Cyberpunk. It gives me a kaiju number 8 feel. And if you haven't seen that, go out there, go get a Crunchyroll account and do that. The book, just like all white books, also has its own world. The world of Neon Rain is Edge City. Edge City is a pretty standard cyberpunk world. It's not deconstructing it or doing something novel or unexpected. And that's okay. I think showing a world that could be the standard for what this genre brings is a strength. It's a good starting point for anyone wanting to create in this genre. And the 2 adventures included are bang on good times. They are different in their own ways, but also very cyberpunk. I ran one as the narrator and played in another, and it was action-packed, goofy, tense, all the things. Our group was so impressed with Neon Rain and its world and adventures that we want to continue playing what was just supposed to be one-shot adventures, just to try it out. The Cypher books keep getting better and better. They learn from their mistakes at Monty Cook and are refining both their approach to world building, rules making, and layout of their books. I can't say enough good things. Is it any wonder why I say that it's so much better than Cyberpunk Red? So much so that our regular Cyberpunk Game Master wants to put in the work to translate old Cyberpunk 2020 and newer Cyberpunk Red adventures into the Cypher System. So there it is. My take on the entire thing. Now it's your turn. Tell me what you think. Are you going to try Neon Rain? Are you a Cyberpunk Red ride or die? Is taking Cyberpunk Red adventures and translating them into a new rule set a betrayal? I want to hear it all. And for my patrons, I've started a magazine called Fantasy Reborn. It's a monthly magazine where I translate old Dungeons & Dragons adventures into a modern system like Cypher. It comes out monthly as a reward for $5 patrons. But act fast, because when a new issue comes out, the old one disappears. Our first issue, which is our August 2025 issue, translates B1, In Search of the Unknown, into Cypher Fantasy. So pick yours up today, and thank you for supporting the Dead Unicorn. But no matter what you play, Cyberpunk Red, Shadowrun, Blade Runner the role-playing game, or Neon Rain, make some time to grab some friends and go roll some dice.